Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Apothecary Diaries, Season 1, Episode 7. Garden party is over. People are poisoning in this bitch. Let's see what happens this time. Leave a like and subscribe. Uncuts on Patreon. Get ahead on Patreon. However many, I don't know. Check out patreon.com/BOLDcast. Again, leave a like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Flashback. So why is her dad so old? Her dad she must be a whore child. They're all with the whorehouse there. And her mom was maybe a prostitute.
That pillow looks so uncomfortable.
Whoa, what is this bed? She get upgraded? Or she have to stay in the infirmary?
Just knock her out.
Oh. Gaussian was one of the... Yeah. Oh yeah, that's him. Right. Oh, the soup.
Let me test for fingerprints.
See how it reacts. His fingerprints. Oh geez, we're getting into this? Oh boy. Guessed it. Bullying. Basically, women are bitches.
Yeah. Something you can't. Bitches.
組役の命ともなれば。
ジーン様にはうまく説明します。
ありがとうございます。せっかく取り替えてくれたんだからお礼はしないとね。身ができたし、やっぱりあのスープ飲み込んでおけばよかったな。
以上です。
なるほどね。物言いはうまいな。
そうでしょうか。
どう考えても内部犯だよな。
状況からはそうなります。
くれる。この騒ぎで昨日から寝る暇もない。着替えもできて起きしたい。
素が出てきていますよ。
誰もいないからよくないか。
私がいます。
そこはおまけで。
ダメです。
何を言ってもダメか。
長い付き合いですので。
でも厄介なもんだな。
ジン様、かんざし刺したままですよ。
ああ、いけねえ。
髪に隠れていたので、本当のご身分に気づく者はいないかと。
頼むわ、おか。
またそんな雑に扱って。特別な方しか身につけられないものですから、大切にしてください。
You're
分
right.
かってるよ。
分かってません。それでは失礼します。
Yeah, I mean, that's all but a reveal right there, that whole scene. So he is keeping his... And again, see what I said? Hang on. See what I said about them doing the obvious thing of MAOMAO'S just too dumb to realize, or the clever thing where he's hiding his thing? Again, the show has a choice between doing the easy thing or doing the slightly more complicated thing that's like more interesting. And they choose the more interesting thing every time.
Is she gonna tell her what it means?
Yeah. It's like a proposal.
その通り。逆にかんざしを使えば高級から
Forever or for a date?
できるんだって。ありがとうシャオラ。試してみる。どういたしまして。ママ、かんざしごちそうさま。美味しかった。
I like how she
She's
just
so
brings
cute.
her food all the time.
もらったかんざしは全部で4つ。男性からのかんざしは2つ。いや、大事なものを失ったうちは男性とは言わないか。薬や。よし。
イラク様、高級の旅館がこちらへ。
わかった。参ったな。義理のかんざしを本にされたから。
Console. Oh, he gave it to her. What?
非水中の次女には一人しか渡してない。ということは。あれか。
That absolute
He doesn't actually like her?
psycho. I think he was just giving out consolation because he had so
But
many.
she already
here.
had one. So, like, why? Oh, that's why, I guess.
お待たせしました。
Why would you give one out to somebody who already has one as a consolation?
よく言われます。
化粧でバテるって言われないか。
でもよく言われます。
しかしまた俺を呼び出すなんて。
戻りたいと思います。
実家？これがどういう意味か分かってるのか？
保証していただければ一時帰宅は可能と聞きました。
呆れたやつだ。次女の武漢の俺に身元保証だけをしろ。
Yeah, why not?
You gave me your
そ
hairpin.
のわざ俺を呼び出したと。強盗というか命知らずと。つまりなんだ。これはジョーちゃんの里帰りにうまく利用されろってことか。
いいえ、もうそれなりにお礼ができないかと考えています。6章間でにはいかがかと。6
召喚冗談だろ。一晩で1年目の給金が太る。
Oh, is that the one she worked at?
Oh,
ならば、紹介状を見せればわかります。はい、了解。
Hiring.
途中完了でもなかなか。
Oh shit, they were like really high class?
yeah, I guess so.
I knew they were popular. I didn't know that she was at like a really high class brothel.
お手間をかけ非常にわかりますので、この話はなかったことに。
こんな他には当てがないのか。
He didn't know. He's like, oh, they're way better than me.
だろう。この嬢ちゃん何者なんだ。だとすればこの話もあながち。いやいや早くすぎる。本当に あの三姫に出会える機
My
会なんて
fucking god.
今後二度と。
どうなさいました
俺の負けだ。
本当によかったいい人に出会えたのねありがとうございます
Everyone is gonna think that they're like hooking up or something.
Yeah.
彼とはどういう経緯で
He gave me a pity.
Oh, this is why
hairpin.
gyokuyou would not like it.
全くかわいそうなのはあの子だわ本当に重いあの子どんな顔するのかしら
When he finds out she's going out with some other dude.
仕事を片付けてになった人士がやってきたのは
Did she already
マオマオが
leave?
出
Yeah.
発した翌日のことマオマオならある人と一緒に行って3日間の里帰りで今日である花町はそれほど遠い場所ではない高級から塀と堀を越えているほどの距離にある
That's good.
馬車をだくだな
This guy's just flexing.
六将官の三姫といえば情景を集める雲の上のアイドルだからな一目会えることで存在だ
見えてきたぞ。
Oh, is her dad gonna be dead?
I hope not.
花町だ。
Because they had the whole flashback at the start.
六将官か。
はい
なんだか風格があるな。
中級から最上級まで技女を取り揃えている老舗の技能ですからばあさんみんな元気何が久しぶりだいこのバカ娘
大丈夫か。
Does she just think that she just hasn't been coming by?
やり手ババです昔はよくこれで毒を吐き出したもんだああ、これは乗客かい話によると出世株らしいねばあちゃんそれ本人の目の前で言うのはどうだおい、パイリンをですな
Oh, shit.
さっきのはずだ
パイリン。
リハクさん、腕の筋肉に自信はありますか
体は鍛えているつもりだぞ。
Holy shit!
ひょっとしたら
She gonna arm wrestle this lady?
I think maybe she's just heavy. She's got such huge tits.
まったくお前は
I was fucking kidnapped and enslaved by the emperor.
ないだろう飲んでないの飲んだから一元お断りのこんだけ面倒見てやってんだろ待って今まで高級で働いた給金の半分別に先払いにしてもらった相手はパーリンだこんだけじゃ足りないじゃくらいなら負けてくんないあのおでっぷしでパーリンが何もしない
Oh.
Oh, she really likes buff guys.
でもそれこんなわけあるかちゃんとパンに入れとくからね乗客どんどんよこしなさっきみたいな若くて長く適度に絞り取るそうなのよでも客になるあれはダメだ血が本気になり店が潰れる青春ややぶ医者は気が引けるしマオマオじじいは家にいるはずださっさと行ってやんな
Hmm.
一つ抜けただけで花町は途端に景色を変える立ち並ぶあばら屋に物乞いと
Could you imagine she's out on a day trip and then just gets kidnapped again?
変わらないな
What's gonna be weird about this? Oh.
親父
おう、おかえり。遅かったね。
やっと帰ってこられた実はあの日そばかすの染料取りに来たらさそこで
That's nice.
まだ年季があるから高級に戻るよ
そうか。
眠いけど風呂入りたいな
明日、六将館でもらい湯するといい。
そうする
高級とは因果だね。
Is she secretly a princess?
I hope not.
That would be crazy.
Or maybe her mom was there at one point or from there.
The
Got
rear
kicked out of
palace,
it.
what a twist of fate. And their eyes don't look the same at all.
Yeah.
Like and he's old. So why? So that's her dad? Like that always struck me as weird. It strikes me as he adopted her or took her out of a situation. Maybe she was, the daughter of a concubine, and he was like a military officer or a taster or something like that. Like he worked in the palace, or maybe he was a doctor there. And took the baby away because there was like some crazy plotting going on. So she's actually like, a noble, like the daughter of a noble or something like that, but nobody knows, it's not on the books or whatever. And maybe that's why Jinshi kind of like takes a liking to her kind of subconsciously, other than just the way that she is. And maybe is why she's so beautiful. Is that she was a daughter of like somebody who was chosen by the previous emperor.
Or what if her mom, maybe she was in the rear palace, but then got, like, awarded to the, like, got like, sent out, similar to how we've been seeing people being able to get sent out as, like, a reward for a military officer or, like, something like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, like, she got pregnant and then was sent out?
Or just got sent out.
Or just got sent out, maybe.
Like, if she was in there, she could have potentially gotten out really easily if she was maybe a little bit too old for the previous emperor.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that. Or maybe with the emperor, so she's 2 years older than Lishu, right? If she's supposed to be 16.
I think so, yeah.
So what if she was originally meant to be married off to the emperor, but the doctor maybe took her away because, maybe her parents or whatever didn't want her to be like a concubine as a 9-year-old or whatever to the emperor.
But how would they, like, find her?
What do you mean, how would they find her?
What do you mean, like, the doctor?
This is saying that her dad.
Oh, okay.
Her dad, say, was a doctor in the
Okay.
rear palace, maybe. That's why he's an apothecary outside and is successful and knows so much. Is because he was like because, she learned everything that she knows about being an apothecary from him. So he would have to have, like, crazy knowledge. She has more knowledge than the fucking doctors at the palace.
Yeah.
Maybe the reason they have a subpar doctor compared to her is because he was originally
The palace
doctor.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So maybe he and we don't know what kind of political shit, but I think we don't know what was going on, but we know there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and we just learned that the emperor liked young girls. The current emperor's mom was like super young when she conceived the emperor, and then Lishu was a concubine at like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Of the emperor. So if MAOMAO is 2 years older than her, then she might have been in line or like on the chopping block basically to be sold off to the emperor as in that spot. Maybe her parents were military officers or something like that, and this isn't her actual dad. That's why they don't have the same eyes. They don't seem to have any features in common at all. Is because she took him, and maybe they like, I don't know, were poisoned or in some kind of crazy plot, or maybe they sacrificed themselves so that their daughter wouldn't be sold off to this creepy fucker of an emperor. And if if maybe there's we had bubblings of a possible theory that the emperor was assassinated because maybe he just wasn't a good guy. Maybe that will all kind of come back to it. But the rear palace, what a twist of fate. The only way that I could see that mattering at all is that if she was from the rear palace originally, or if she was taken from there, or, what a twist of fate. Like, why would it be a twist of fate?
Yeah. Unless him, her mom, or her had been there before, it wouldn't matter. So
that's why it's one of those things. It's like with Gao Shun being like, oh, he doesn't look like one of the other eunuchs, it's like, oh yeah, well no shit, because he probably isn't one, or he isn't, he's not like them. He's with the military officers. That's weird. Oh well, it might be because he's a fucking military officer. So like I think that I think that he's probably not her real dad. He may have been the apothecary in the rear palace, or the doctor in the rear palace, when she was little, and she maybe doesn't remember it. And she was maybe in line to be fucking picked out by the emperor, and then he took her out of there. Maybe he straight up stole her. Maybe he didn't even like conspire with her parents. Maybe he straight up stole her away. We did see her when she was
seemingly around like 5 years old.
Yeah, walking with him,
and she remembers that. So she would have had to have been like a baby.
Yeah, probably. Well, the emperor, the dowager is like super old now.
Yeah.
Like she's old. She's maybe 40, something like that, in her 40s or 50s. Max. So like they had precedence, and the previous emperor probably had a bunch of concubines. Like there's probably precedence for that. So maybe they wanted to spare her that fate. Is my theory.
Or yeah.
Or what?
Or like a similar thing for her mom, just like a bit earlier on, like they sent her out or got her out of there. Like a lot previously, because we don't know how old the previous emperor was. If he, like, because he could have been old. He could have taken a long time to actually have a son. So he, and the age and being like, oh, the dowager empress is really young. But she's obviously old enough to be like a young mom. But like,
maybe she was a teenager.
But and yeah, so it's like we
well, it was like suspiciously young. Like it wasn't like, oh, back in the day, 14 was when you just got married and started having kids as a royal person or whatever. Like that's already bad. But it's like they were putting it like, Li Shu's there and she's really young, but that's like.
Acceptable.
It's fucked up, but in this time period, they had different sensitivities. It's still really fucked up, but it kind of is what it is. The way they were talking about the dowager, it's like, wow, they must have worked really hard. I think that's what MAOMAO even like thought to herself. It's like they must have worked really hard to make that happen. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
So that you take that for what it is. The point is, we have. I think I've said it probably 5 or 6 times at this point. Do you disagree with it or have any other theories about it?
No, sorry. I'm just, it's just, they just keep like ramping up all these like different mysteries, and there's still so many that are like on the go as well, like there's still all the stuff within the palace, and now she's out of the palace, and they add in this other mystery of like this really ambiguous line that like clearly means, I
don't think it's that ambiguous. It can only mean one thing. She was from the fucking rear palace. There's no other way that, what else could that possibly mean?
I guess not, and no, I mean like but we don't know like exactly what happened. I think that you're on something with him potentially being the previous like doctor, because the doctor that's in there now doesn't know anything and is useless.
And she knows so much. So like and she learned that from him. So like how would a like he's he's working in the neighborhood of all of these really high-end brothels, like the crazy high-end brothel in particular. So I don't know. Maybe her mom got thrown out and had to go work at that brothel.
Yeah.
Because we saw in the first episode with the rhododendron stuff that it was kind of foreshadowed that her mom was either a prostitute or died from a similar thing. Because all we saw was like a flash of like people attending to this woman who was dying in a bed.
Yeah. Or
like leaning up against a window. I forget exactly what was shown, but she was really young. And she has that memory, and it's kind of like a soft, tender spot for her. I don't know. I don't know. Something with all this shit. It's all gonna come around, and it's gonna make, I think, zoom out a little bit. All of the details, no matter however they turn out, it'll be fine. But zooming out, it would make the potential romance between jinshi. Like I think that's the objective of laying all this out, is the like romance, the sort of like ooh. Shalala type shit that's going on with them is like if she's secretly of noble birth and he's secretly the fucking younger the emperor's younger brother, maybe emperor gets poisoned and then he has to be the emperor, and then she rises up, this almost like Cinderella story type thing. turns out, oh wait, I've been secretly of noble birth this whole time, and we're perfect for each other, and I treat you like a wife treats her husband, and I'm like giving you shit all the time, like that type of thing. Like it would just be such like a
Yeah, but you wouldn't want them to be too much related, though, I guess.
No, well, that's what I don't think they look a lot like that, and I think they've been putting that up front as well with showing the Dowager.
Yeah.
Showing the Emperor. Emperor probably looks like their dad somewhat with the red eyes and the dark hair. And then Jinshi has the same hair and eye color as the Dowager Queen.
Yes, he looks a lot like her. So you can assume
there's no green in there.
Yeah.
There's no green and blue eyes in there at all. Like she has green hair, blue eyes. If that is from a previous concubine or like of the previous emperor or just like a higher noble
that's
person.
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. If it was her mom in there that then got like taken out or like sold off to someone else who was also good, then it would make her like high and like noble enough that she wasn't like a peasant, but not too noble that they're like related.
Yeah. Well, maybe what happened was because the third episode was the other, the military officer and like the second class concubine reuniting and being together. Maybe it was a similar story like that, but it ended in tragedy where he, like the doctor, maybe he was the doctor at the rear palace, and it's a twist of fate for him, not necessarily for Mao Mao, but going with all the shit that we've talked about, there's multiple possibilities, but going with what we talked about, maybe he was the doctor, he knew them, maybe he liked them, they were having a baby, and they had a similar thing as in episode 3 where he was a big military officer, she was like a concubine or potential, and then she left and she was like super beautiful maybe. And then he goes out and he dies in battle, and then she has a baby and she has to become a prostitute in order to, now she doesn't have this connection to like nobility. Yeah. She's just a pretty woman out there. What do? They go to the crazy Vetigre house, or however you say it, and she was like maybe a big prostitute there until she died of like makeup related illness or something,
or syphilis or something.
Some shit.
In the back alleys dying of syphilis.
Some shit. In that case, though, I don't know if he maybe we're thinking too hard about how he was the royal doctor, but I think it just makes too much sense for him to have been in that kind of position with how much he knows, because she knows so much more than everyone else about all this shit, and that's not like, the secret apothecaries of the back streets, Michael and Hoikel of the back streets type thing. Like, it's not this, like, how would you learn that much? It's like formal education level fingerprints and fucking, like, all this stuff, like, all that stuff. It's such detailed knowledge that it had to have come from somewhere with knowledge. It doesn't just come from, we've passed down these super detailed scientific apothecary arts in our 4 back streets. Yeah, and all this other stuff and like all these details. I don't know. It all fits together somehow. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, what would be, this is my other theory, what if the mom was in there as a concubine, but she was one of the like, second-rate ones that the emperor was like, I'm not going near you. I don't know, maybe she was too old, maybe something, but she wasn't interested. But then what if she did get pregnant secretly, and then she has to, like, flee, because if she was caught being pregnant when the emperor was like, I definitely didn't knock her up, and there's only eunuchs around here, there's gonna be some issues,
Yeah. Leave a like and subscribe. See you next time, Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.